The man who survived 2 atomic bombs. In August 1945, Tsutomu Yamaguchi was preparing to leave Hiroshima after a business trip. He was just 3 kilometers from ground zero when the first atomic bomb exploded. He was thrown into a field, his skin burned, his hearing gone, but somehow he lived. The next day he boarded a train back home, to Nagasaki. 3 days later, another flash, another hell, and once again, he survived. When journalists later asked how he felt, he said quietly, "I thought the mushroom cloud had followed me." He lived to 93, a man who had seen the world end twice and still chose to live in it. The girl who fell 20,000 feet and walked away. In December 1971, lightning struck Lanza Flight 508 over the Amazon rainforest. The plane tore apart mid-air, and 23-year-old Julinan Kopka fell through the clouds, still strapped to her seat. She plummeted over 10,000 feet and landed in the jungle canopy. For 11 days she wandered, bleeding, half-blind, and completely alone. She followed the sound of running water because her father once told her, "Rivers lead to people." She drank rain from leaves, ate nothing, slept under trees that whispered. On the 11th day, she found an abandoned boat and poured gasoline on her wounds to kill the maggots. Moments later, loggers found her, barely alive but breathing. She survived a fall from the sky, and somehow she kept walking. The flight that landed 37 years late. In July 1955, Pan Am Flight 914 took off from New York to Miami, then vanished. No distress call, no wreckage, nothing. 37 years later, in 1992, air traffic control in Caracas heard a signal. A pilot's voice said, "This is Pan Am 914. Where are we?" When told the date, the voice grew quiet, panicked. Then the plane started its engines and disappeared again. No one ever confirmed it. No record, no wreck. Just stories. Maybe it was a hoax. Maybe something else. Some say it was swallowed by time and somehow found its way back. The $125 million math error. In 1999, NASA's Mars Climate Orbiter burned up in the Martian atmosphere, not because of an engine failure, but because of a simple mistake. One engineering team used metric units, the other used imperial. When they tried to calculate the spacecraft's thrust, the numbers never matched. A $125 million mission lost in a translation of math. One scientist said later, almost whispering, "It was like watching a calculator crash a spaceship." The man who faked his death and actually died. In 1974, a man in the United States tried to fake his own drowning for insurance money. He left his clothes on the beach and planned to hide until his wife collected the payout. But something went wrong. While rehearsing the scene, he swam too far into the current and never came back. When divers found his body, the coroner called it an accidental death. But maybe it wasn't an accident. Maybe it was irony, the ocean collecting the truth he tried to bury. The woman who poisoned a town by accident. In 1981, thousands of people in Spain fell sick overnight. Fever, paralysis, failing lungs. Doctors were lost until investigators discovered the cause. Industrial oil, sold as cooking oil. A simple labeling mistake had turned food into poison. Over 1,000 people died, and 20,000 more were scarred for life. It became known as the toxic oil syndrome, a disaster born from human carelessness, all because someone mislabeled a can. The internet mystery no one could solve. In January 2012, a strange black image appeared online. White letters read, "We are looking for highly intelligent individuals." It was the beginning of Cicada 331, a global puzzle that led to secret websites, encoded music, and coordinates carved into stone. Hackers, linguists, even intelligence agencies tried. No one ever finished it. Then one day, it stopped. No warning, no answers. Some say it was a CIA recruitment program. Others say it was something older. Whatever it was, it disappeared like it never existed, leaving only silence and curiosity that still hasn't died. The man who was struck by lightning 3 times. In 1918, British Major Walter Summerford was struck by lightning while riding his horse. He survived. In 1924, it happened again while fishing. He survived again. In 1930, lightning found him for a 3rd time, this time leaving him paralyzed. He died 2 years later, and 4 years after that, lightning struck his tombstone. Some lives attract light. His seemed to attract the storm. The town that disappeared overnight. In August 1986, villagers near Lake Nyos in Cameroon heard a deep rumble. Then, nothing. A massive cloud of carbon dioxide burst from the lake and rolled across the valley. No fire, no sound, just silence. Over 1,700 people died where they stood, without a single scream. Animals, families, whole villages, gone. Scientists later said the lake had been building pressure for years. It wasn't an explosion. It was the earth exhaling death. The Time Travelers of Versailles. In 1901, 2 English women, Charlotte Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, visited the Palace of Versailles. As they walked through the gardens, everything around them changed. The air grew still. The laughter, the sounds vanished. Then they saw people in 18th century clothes, musicians, horses, even Marie Antoinette sketching by a tree. Moments later, boom, it was gone. They returned to the present like waking from a dream. They later published a book claiming they had stepped into the past. Historians dismissed it, but maybe time doesn't always move forward. Maybe sometimes it looks back.